Hello everyone, Arcadia Vice here with the third part of my Uplink playthrough. Now, I cleared the little mission we had left over from last time off screen because you've already seen that type of mission before. Today I'm going to show you two of the events that can lead to special awards. And maybe, if we have time, throw in a mission at the end. So first, we go into NIC. Now search Vision game server. Now anyone familiar with a certain movie will know where this is leading. Load our bounty queue, even though it's not really needed because they don't have any security. I'm not sure about passive traces, so I like to do this. See, all they have is a password. Now, if you actually try to crack it, and by the way, no security, so you don't have to worry about being active traced, password breaker just won't do anything. But if you remember the movie War Games, you'll remember the password is Joshua. They have this cryptic hint thing here, which I'm not sure actually. I don't know if I've ever got through this, but there is something about that. It allows you to access introversion zone area, something like that. I'll make sure we come to that later on. But you have War Games. And it's meant to come up after a while here, Global Thermonuclear War, but for some reason it's not doing that at the moment. But you click on it, you get a map. And Whopper's speaking to us basically. And yep. Close out, disconnect there. As I'm not sure if they passive trace you, but I just like to make sure. Force of habit mostly, but better safe than sorry. We can get rid of that now. Now if we go to the Uplink Internal Services System, Government-run nuclear defense system compromised. Yeah, you actually get a little news bulletin about hacking into Whopper. Fun little Easter egg, and that also gives you one of the 12 special awards. Next up, notice how the admin area for this is greyed out. Next up, we're going to bite the hand that feeds us and hack into Uplink's own service system. So bring up the link, load our bounty queue, connection analysis. Oops. Missed it. Monitor bypass. You always want to put the monitor bypass on first, because the monitor can actually check the other two. And if you find one of them being bypassed, you instantly start getting traced. Speaking of, we want our trace tracker up. And just to make sure, our motion sensor. Right, now this time we type in admin for the username. Password breaker. And one other thing, there's a little trick with the admin area in this, you see. The instant you click the admin option, you have to break an elliptic curve encryption cipher, which is a second type of security. Other systems will have this as well, but most of them it's right up there to begin with. This, you log in, admin's now available, you click it, bam! Use the decipher software to get through, bring up our memory banks, and our file copier, access file server, and start copying this stuff over. Neatness doesn't really matter. We can tidy that up later anyway. And yes, number 4 is missing. I'll explain why once we're done here. Right, disconnect. To cover our traces. Right, now we have an uplink agent list and all this uplink agent data. If we go to our other look in our software, we have uplink agent list. But as you see, ours is unknown. Most of the others are encrypted, and then there's 3 others unknown. That's because of the missing basically 4th file here. Because this game, you see, never asked you for a real name or anything like that, just a username. The only information out there on the internet of the uplink universe is your username and any criminal acts you perform that get recorded in the global criminal database. Now, so that means basically that uplink agent data 4 is never able to be found, it's always missing. But these others are encrypted. We have a decryptor. So we can decrypt all these. Right. And with that, if we now load up the uplink agent list, anyone that was encrypted, we now have the name for their handle. So if we ever want to get rid of a rival hacker for some reason or another, here we are. We can get rid of them. Because we know their names. And if you know their names, you can do basically a certain thing to remove them. Now that itself doesn't get a special award, but we will get a message at some point relating to this, which will allow us to do something to get a special award. Now if we go into the mission list, as you see, we've got a whole bunch of new different types of missions here. I think we can do 1 or 2 of them before we finish up this video. So, highly skilled agent required for removal job. Want to do that. And for the other one, how about trace a hacker who recently broke into our systems? Why not? Right. And oh great, it's a local area network. Joy. Local area network missions take an age, so I might have to leave that one. But for the removal job, Duncan Fairbairn. Now, doesn't that name seem familiar? Right, it should do. Because if you look at our agent list, Agent Boko is Duncan Fairbairn. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, by the way, just so you know. I could be pronouncing it wrong, I'm not sure, but yeah. So yeah, somebody wants us to get rid of Agent Boko here. Now how do we do that? Well, there are several ways, but the easiest way I find is to go into NIC, browse search, global criminal database, and then where is that, okay, I always lose these things, there it is, over there. Right, connect, I think I got it. Yep, so bypass the monitor, bypass the proxy. See, these have an elliptic curve encryption cipher as well. Quickly break that. Use the old read-write trick as well to prevent getting active traced. Right, proceed. Duncan Fairbairn. Okay. Here he is. Now to get basically to remove him, we just need to get him authorised for an arrest. To do that, you need them to have 2 prior convictions and a parole violation. So let's give him fraud. Unauthorised systems access, and the parole violation. unauthorised arrest. And you can pretty much enter any crimes in there at all, even like ridiculous ones that wouldn't actually be counted as a crime. Like, I don't know, eating bread on a Sunday or something like that. Seriously, it's very sort of open. So in 3 hours he's going to be arrested. But before we go, we have a criminal conviction of our own from hacking the social security database where we broke the game in the last part. So, we enter our username. Here we are. Clear history. There we go. Now we have no prior record again. Clean as a whistle. Now again, cover our tracks. There we go. Now, you can't just send the mail for this straight off, because they need to actually know that they have been removed. So, go to Internal Services System, a new server, speed up time, and bam! Higher rated uplink agent arrested. Don't confirm it. Once that comes up on the news list, you can send in the mail to say you've completed it. We get our reward. And our new amount of rating changes. This changes based on the missions you take. Destruction missions take you one way, all the other missions take you another way. I've not really noticed any change it has on the gameplay, but I'm sure it does something, it's just I've never really noticed it. So, that's that. Can we do anything else? Let's just see if we can get a certain mission type to come up. What I really love doing. Ah, here we are. Elite agent required for destruction of computer system. I love doing these missions. And it's a central mainframe. Good, it's not a local area network. Now, central mainframes, like local area networks, can't just be accessed directly. You have to access a server on the same company system. So we go to Internet IC first. Browse search. Nope, that's not it. Network site. Network Energy Labs. Now we want Network Energy Labs public access server. Then access the public access server. Get the administrator's phone number. Because central mainframes have 3 levels of security. The password, the cipher, and a voice lock. And the voice lock can only be opened by the administrator, unless you have the voice analyzer. We phone up the administrator.
Hello? Hello? Who's there?
Creep him out by not talking or doing anything. Snag his voice. Now mark the public access server. So now we load our queue. First to the public access server, then to the central mainframe. Connect. They don't have a cipher, but they do have the voice print. There are systems like this one that do actually have all 3. So, bypasses, monitor bypass, wait for it to finish checking itself, then bypass it. That red box is when the monitor is checking a system. If it detects a bypass or a disabler trying to remove it, when that's there, then the trace begins. In fact, that's actually one thing you can do. Instead of getting all 3 bypasses, you can just get the monitor bypass that, and then use the disable to brute force the other 2, and the monitor won't even notice. So first go to our voice print identification, click play.
Hello. I am the system administrator. My voice is my passport. Verify me.
And boom, our computer mimics his voice. And we get in. Now, password breaker. Now, to destroy a computer system is more than just deleting all the files on the server. you have to make it completely inoperable. There are two ways to do it. The way I'm going to be doing here, and another way involving something we'll get our hands on later on. We don't have that yet, so we'll have to do it this way. But personally, I will show the other way later on, by the way, but well, it kind of shows itself in a certain mission, but here we go. So we log in, trace begins, we want to go to console, cd user, delete, cd log. I don't know if you have to do all of this, but I like to do it just to be thorough. So first we delete their entire file server, then we delete the log database, and we go to cd sys, delete all the system files, then we shut down the system. And we should have plenty of time to get this done before the trace can catch us. See, now we shut down the system. It goes to reboot. Tries to load the kernel, but that isn't there anymore. So when trying to do this, it fails. System failure. Disconnecting remote users. Auto disconnect us. Then we go to cover our tracks, because even though we've destroyed the system, they do have a way of accessing the logs on a backup server, so they can passive trace us. We can get rid of the voice analyzer now. Public access server. Now we go to the internal services system again. Go to the new server. Fast forward until BAM. Now, if you can read the grey text, this is the one here, Network Energy Labs. And it says how we broke into their system and deliberately shut down the system. With that message up, we can send notice of completion. And bam! Mission complete. We get our reward, and our neuromancer has now become untrustworthy. And I think that'll do it for today. Next time we'll take on the local area network, which may just end up taking an entire video in itself. Some of these local area networks can be so large and sprawling that they can take a long time to successfully hack all the way through to what you need to do, and then you've got to trace the hacker on top of that. So, plus we're at 18 minutes already, so I think that's enough for today. This has been Arcadia Vice. I hope you enjoyed. Good night.